Government to ensure aid reaches the poor. Ringgit gradual rise without intervention reflects confidence in government policies. Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Lee and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. The Madani government's policy, which focuses on governance issues, aims to ensure that assistance for the poor in the country reaches the group. Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that although various agencies have been established in the country to assist and implement poverty eradication programs, there are still leaks that prevent aid from reaching the target groups. He said that the issue of poverty must be tackled through efforts that involved multiple dimensions.
Bantu rakyat miskin di Pantai Remis, tetapi tidak membetulkan penindasan oleh orang tengah, dia juga akan menunjukkan ada ketimpangan. Jadi low productivity akibat low capital, irregularities in the marketing infrastructure. Ini masalah yang kita tekankan.
Datuk Seri Anwar added that the government spends 22 billion ringgit a year on poverty eradication efforts, and if this amount is managed effectively, it could resolve the issue of poverty in the country. He said this at the 100 Years of Za'aba Poverty Thinker seminar at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, or UPSI, in Tanjung Malim today. Now, the ringgit has yet to reach its fair value despite its recent rise against the US dollar and emerging as Southeast Asia's best performing currency, according to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. Now, he said it is still undervalued even at 4 ringgit 10 cents per US dollar. He said the people know that it used to be 3 ringgit 80 cents, but it is wise for it to strengthen gradually without intervention.
It is still undervalued. Yes, it will cause some concerns among the exporters. Not too bad because it's still undervalued. But it has benefited immensely because it is a trading nation. We import a hell lot from overseas, and the world, and particularly Malaysia, will still depend largely on the dollar. And let the market forces play, and it reflects the confidence and our policies and the way we execute our reforms.
He said this to CNBC in an interview. Some analysts are more optimistic, predicting the ringgit could reach 3.55 against the greenback, while acknowledging that a stronger ringgit might raise concerns among exporters given Malaysia's role as an export-driven economy. Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, said the issue is not significant as the currency remains undervalued. Now, on another note, Datuk Seri Anwar said the Madani government's commitment to combating endemic corruption has significantly restored confidence among domestic and foreign investors, leading to increased new investments. The Prime Minister said his primary concern during his initial months in office has been to restore the nation's reputation, particularly following the One Malaysia Development Berhad, the 1MDB scandal. He noted that both domestic and foreign investors have recognized the government's strong commitment to fighting corruption, even as some critics have deemed it overzealous.
And through that initiative, early last year, we managed to save 4.5 billion ringgit. But more important is governance, to stop the leakages. Billions pocketed by crooks, corrupt leaders, and we have stopped that. Is it sufficient? Yes, but we need a bit more.
In an interview with CNBC, Datuk Sri Anwar also highlighted the necessity of closing the skills gap to attract high-value industries, with the government aiming to produce 60,000 engineers over the next 5 years. The Prime Minister hinted that Malaysia may need a more flexible approach, potentially hiring engineers from neighbouring countries to bridge the skills gap. The Selangor government hopes that Budget 2025 to be tabled by the federal government can provide an impetus in the allocation for the empowerment of the electrical and electronics or E&E industry, flood mitigation and logistics in the state. Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Amiruddin Syari said the financial impetus was necessary in line with the aggressive measures taken by his administration in developing the semiconductor industry in Selangor. He said the state government also focused on efforts to complete and upgrade flood mitigation projects, specifically from the Hulu Langat district up to Sepang.
Setakat ini fasa 1 dah selesai, fasa kedua saya rasa sedang berjalan dan kita perlukan penambahbaikan tertentu. Begitu juga peningkatan atau beberapa projek yang sedang dalam pipeline seperti peremajaan ataupun pembangunan semula ataupun rejuvenate Subang Airport yang saya rasa dia akan membantu kita dalam membangunkan negeri.
He was met after the Foreign Nationals Integrated Operation headed by the Immigration Department in Taman Sri Muda Shah Alam today. Previously, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim was reported to have said that Budget 2025 will be tabled on the 18th of October. It's targeted at raising the people's living standards and advancing the country's development. The Johor government aims to increase livestock numbers to 200,000 by 2027, having successfully reached a livestock production total of 152,000 as of September this year. State Agriculture, Agro-Based Industry and Rural Development Committee Chairman Datuk Zahari Sarip said the initial 5-year Key Performance Indicator or the KPI target was set at 170,000 livestock, but due to encouraging production, this has been raised to 200,000. Zahari outlined 3 key steps to meet the new target, encouraging livestock breeders to register with the veterinary department, conducting regular monitoring and providing support to these breeders.
Jadi langkah pertama ialah kita minta mereka mendaftar. Yang keduanya, Jabatan Veteriner telah membuat pemantauan dari masa ke semasa ke ladang-ladang ternakan dan kita bantu peternak-peternak untuk mereka menambah kapasiti, kemudian bantu dari segi keselesaan dan sebagainya. Itu yang kedua. Yang ketiganya, kita telah minta kerajaan negeri untuk bantu juga. Jadi saya sebut tadi, tahun lepas kerajaan negeri telah membutuhkan 500,000, melibatkan 17 orang penternak.
He said this after the launch of the Sri Medan Farmers Organisation or PPK Slaughterhouse and Processing Centre in Batu Pahat today. Also present were Menteri Besar Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi, who officiated the ceremony, and Johor Islamic Affairs Committee Chairman Muhammad Farid Muhammad Khalid. Coming up, Malaysia witnessed significant increase in reported cancer cases between 2017 and 2021. Now, Malaysia has witnessed a significant increase in reported cancer cases between 2017 and 2021, according to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadillah Yusof. As such, he emphasised the importance of strengthening efforts to raise awareness, promote prevention, enable early diagnosis, and most importantly, ensure quality treatment for those in need. Datuk Sri Fadillah reiterated the government's commitment to strengthening the national health system, particularly in improving access to quality cancer treatment. He added that resources will continue to be allocated to enhance research, treatment facilities and cancer prevention programs, considering the burdens faced by patients and their families.
Budaya hidup sehat patut direncanakan menjadi agenda utama negara kita. Bukan saja di peringkat kementerian, bukan saja di peringkat swasta, tapi lebih penting ialah ianya menjadi budaya kehidupan kita semua.
He said this during his speech at the opening of the Pink Oktober Carnival 2024, organised by the National Cancer Institute, or the IKN, in Putrajaya today. Also present was Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad. Now, a number of oncologists in Malaysia is expected to increase by 400 or increase to 400 by 2040, up from the current 175. Now, Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad stated that this target can be achieved with Malaysia's participation in the fellowship of the Royal College of Radiologists, or FRCR, in clinical oncology. He said the National Cancer Institute, or the IKN, will continue to be a centre of excellence and participate in the FRCR. Datuk Sri Zulkifli added the establishment of 2 cancer centres in Kedah and Sarawak will enhance services for the public, eliminating the need for patients to travel to Kuala Lumpur for treatment and therapy.
Jadi saya mengharapkan ia akan dapat pastinya menangani hal waiting time, hal kesegeraan, kerana cancer you can't wait, you see. The sooner you get to be melalui the therapy, the better.
He said this to reporters after the launch of the 2024 Pink Oktober Carnival at IKN by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadila Yusof today. Also present was IKN Director Muhammad Anis Harun. The Muzakara Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs Malaysia, MKI Fatwa Committee, has decided on the Islamic law perspective regarding the doctrine believed to be deviant practiced by GISB Holdings Indra Berhad, or GISBH. Now, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Datuk Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, stated that the decision was reached during a meeting on the 23rd and the 24th of September, adding the perspective will be presented to the Conference of Rulers for approval.
Setelah Majlis Raja memberikan perkenan kepada pandangan hukum tersebut, dan negeri-negeri akan bawa pandangan hukum tersebut kepada jawatan kuasa fatwa negeri yang dipengerusikan oleh mufti negeri tersebut. Itu kuasa negeri lah untuk memulakan persidangan ataupun fatwa tersebut. So peranan JAKIM ialah untuk menyelaraskan.
Speaking to reporters in Putrajaya today, he said the legal perspective was issued because the MKI Fatwa Committee does not have the authority to issue fatwas and can only provide Islamic law perspectives on certain beliefs to be presented to the Conference of Rulers. Now, Malaysia Tonight on TV1 ends here to give way to the 64th International Al-Quran Recitation and Memorization Assembly. Our bulletin resumes on saluran Berita RTM. Now, Malaysia is ready to assume the responsibility of ASEAN Chair next year, supported by the credible leadership of Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim in solidifying the country's position globally. Now, Malaysia is believed to be able to elevate ASEAN's role to a higher level. Laos will hand over the ASEAN chairmanship baton to Malaysia next week, marking the beginning of hard work that must be made to fully utilize the chairmanship starting 1st of January next year. The three main pillars have been outlined for ASEAN 2025, comprising security and politics, economy and social-cultural.
Bagi saya, Malaysia terkehadapan dalam menangani dan mengangkat dengan cemerlang tiga tonggak utama sidang kemuncak ASEAN 2025. Malaysia satu-satunya negara yang mempunyai kepelbagaian kaum dalam ASEAN yang berjaya mengharungi pelbagai detik-detik cabaran tiga tonggak tersebut dengan jayanya.
ASEAN partnerships also need to be enhanced to further strengthen investments and trade among member states, as well as with other nations. Now, to that end, Malaysia's consistent foreign policy will play an important role throughout its chairmanship next year. Now, a pioneer in the renewable energy industry, Datuk Dr. Guntur Tobing has navigated the sector for nearly 3 decades. As Managing Director of Gading Kencana Sdn Bhd, he remains a leading authority on harnessing solar power for clean, sustainable energy in Malaysia. Long before sustainability became a buzzword, he was at the forefront of solar photovoltaic or PV technology, often traversing off-beaten paths to install solar panels to generate electricity in remote areas.
We grew bigger from when I started the business 30 years ago. It was very small, so I do it myself. I and my partner, Hasna Mintia Wang, my wife, so we build the business together. So we did everything. We even take a boat to a remote area in Sabah, Kanowit in Sarawak, Sumambu, Saliku in Sabah Keningau Sabah, Dipa Keningau Sabah. So we went through all the challenges on our own.
As a responsible corporate citizen, he believes in maintaining harmony with the environment through harnessing sustainable energy for the benefit of future generations.
The most important thing for us right now is to emulate, to develop more leaders, more younger leaders to take over our business. And this is energy transition business, so it is a very noble business. So we borrowed this earth from our grandchildren. So we better make sure that when we hand over to our grandchildren, we hand over in a better condition than what it is now. So
a 4-star CIDB contractor, Gading Kencana continues to be one of the larger SMEs in the domestic solar PV industry, with its annual turnover exceeding 30 million ringgit. Now, a huge fire at a factory in northern Vietnam destroyed 3,000 electric bikes and motorbikes on Friday. Now, thick smoke rose from a warehouse belonging to the DK Vietnam Japan Electric Vehicle Company in Lang Son City after the fire reportedly broke out around 7 a.m. local time. State media said over 2,000 electric motorcycle components were also destroyed in the flames. Huang Van Khoi, the husband of the company's founder, confirmed that there had been a fire and several explosions were also heard, but did not elaborate. According to state-owned VTV, the fire started on the second floor of the parts warehouse and spread to other floors and adjacent workshops. The DK Bike electric vehicle production facility spans over 3,000 square meters and includes areas for production, assembly, parts, and a showroom for finished vehicles. The fire has now been mostly extinguished and authorities are investigating the cause. According to its website, DK Bike is a Vietnam-Japan joint venture. The company specializes in manufacturing bicycles, electric motorcycles, and 50cc small displacement motorcycles. Thai authorities and conservationists on Friday struggled to rescue over 100 elephants, dozens of pigs and other animals after flash floods hit the country's northern Chiang Mai province. Deputy Prime Minister Putam Wichayachai said an operation is underway, adding that 117 elephants had been saved, but 9 more needed help. The elephant is Thailand's national animal, and a white elephant, a symbol of good fortune, was featured on the Thai flag at one point in time. A number of pigs and buffaloes were still stranded in a village that is now completely flooded. Traditionally, elephants have been used as work animals, but these days are endangered. The beasts have been popular with tourists, but increasing awareness of their treatment has seen more elephants placed in sanctuaries. The Southeast Asian nation's northern region has been hit with heavy flooding since August, killing 49 people and displacing thousands of households. Coming up in sports, pool just one stage away from being crowned LTDL 2024 overall champ. Now, Sarawak has launched its first esports training hub and certification academy intended to serve as a platform to develop professional esports players along with those working behind the scenes. Now, the esports satellite campus is a collaboration between the Human Resource Development Corporation through its Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET program, and Sentex Commercial, a Sarawak government-linked agency. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, when launching the facility, said it aims to provide training for both professional and amateur players, as well as serve as a networking hub for industry stakeholders. Now, the hub will offer training in areas such as gaming strategies, event management, and digital content creation.
Ramai anak-anak lepasan TVET e-sport ini untuk berada di peringkat dunia menjual konten kepada e-sport ini mengikut versi Malaysia. Dan saya yakin satu hari nanti, kalau bukan negeri lain, saya hanya mengharapkan e-sport daripada Sarawak ini yang akan berada di garisan hadapan.
In a statement, Sentex Commercial said that the facility located at Jumaani Pavilion in Kuching is expected to become Sarawak's driving force for capacity building and to develop a skilled local workforce for the esports industry. It also targets those involved in the technical aspects, marketing and management. Let's take a look at cycling. DSM Ferminate Post NL rider Max Poole is just one stage away from being crowned overall champion of the Le Tour de Langkawi, or LTDL 2024 cycling race, after completing stage 7, the longest stage involving a distance of 199.3 kilometers from Miri to Bintulu today. Now, stage 7 today was won by JCL team UQ rider Matteo Malucelli, who crossed the finish line in 4 hours 18.03 seconds, followed by Tudor Pro Racing teams Arvid de Klein and Michael Zillard. The 21-year-old, who has dominated the green jersey overall leader from stage 3, completed the penultimate stage in a bunched finish by coming in 50th position with an overall time of 23 hours, 20 minutes and 6 seconds. He is 13 seconds ahead of second place Thomas Pesenti, JCL team UQ, in the race for the green jersey. The final stage, 8 tomorrow, involves a 147.5 kilometer ride around Bintulu, and it is quite certain that Poole is set to make his teammates to help him retain the green jersey so that he can emerge as the overall champion in the final stage tomorrow. Indonesia's Mulyo Handoyo and Denmark's Kenneth Jonassen are among the candidates of the radar of badminton, on the radar of the Badminton Association of Malaysia, or BAM, to fill the men's singles head coach position. Now, the matter was shared by Academy Badminton Malaysia, or ABM, coaching director Rexy Mainaki, who also said that whoever is selected will sign a contract until the 2028 Olympic Games. Asked about the key performance indicators or KPIs set for the coach, Rexy hopes that 3 or 4 more quality men's singles players will be unearthed to contribute points in the Thomas Cup, as well as in the Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, SEA Games and several other major tournaments. Now, he also hoped that the coach would be able to guide the players to win higher titles in the Badminton World Federation or BWF calendar, such as Super 500 or Super 750. BAM previously announced a restructuring of its coaching lineup, including not continuing the service of men's singles coach Hendrawan, who has been with BAM since 2009, effective 31st of October. Mulyo had previously coached Taufik Hidayat to win the 2004 Olympic men's singles gold and the 2005 world title, while Yonason once guided Victor Axelsen to his first Olympic gold medal in Tokyo 2021 and also helped the Dane win the 2017 world title. Let's take a look at football. Terengganu FC or TFC could only manage a single point despite playing at their own backyard after a 1-1 draw with PDRM FC in their Super League match at the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium in Kuala Terengganu last night. The first half saw TFC, spearheaded by their skipper Muhammad Safawi Rasid, dominated the game through a series of early attempts, but failed to breach through the PDRM FC defence. It took import player Nelson Bonilla to break the deadlock on the stroke of half-time to give the home fans something to cheer. The second half saw PDRM FC start to show more urgency and determination, and the pressure paid off handsomely when Chidi Osuchuku headed in the equaliser in the 53rd minute after completing Kyo Min-woo's corner kick. Now, TFC, currently under the guidance of acting head coach Badrul Afzan Razali, who replaced Tomislav Steinbruckner, tried desperately to regain the lead, but despite several close calls, could not find the finishing touches. The 1 point earned saw TFC remained in third spot in the league table with 17 points, while PDRM FC was relieved after moving up 5th place with 15 points. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag is confident his team will bounce back ahead of their crucial match against Aston Villa this Sunday. Now, despite a challenging start to the season, he remains optimistic about his players' abilities and the unwavering support from fans and top management.
We can improve, and we have to improve if we want to make it a success, and we can only achieve, like last 2 seasons, win trophies when we improve. So yeah, we will work on this, definitely.
Currently sitting 13th in the Premier League standings with just 7 points from 6 games, United is experiencing their worst start since the 1986 to 1987 season. A defeat against Aston Villa would be a significant setback for Ten Hag as he looks to secure his position in his 3rd season at Old Trafford. And that concludes this edition of Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, ringgit yet to reach fair value despite recent rise. I'm Jessica Lee. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you for watching.